Please stop, let me film just a little bit, please. Recently, there's been a lot of talk about plastic-free living in the world. And I don't think it's really a bad thing because let's face it, the world is kind of going to crap right now. And the thing that made me very interested in this topic is when I saw the straw stuck in the turtle's nose. That was kind of like a point of awakening for me how bad plastic is. And I know that plastic is also the worst pollutant because it breaks down to the smaller pieces and it never ever disappears. So we're eating this, it's toxic to us and it's killing the world, it's killing the animals. It's just not good, full stop. So I figured I'll just try to get rid of plastic altogether and see how easy it is to live without it. Of course, there's gonna be some challenges because I have to relearn behavior of purchasing basically everything. I mean, supermarkets these days are filled with plastic items. Everything is almost plastic. So I'm gonna look for different supermarkets, different products that I haven't used before, substitutes, and hopefully I can incorporate as much as I humanly can into my everyday life because it's a lot easier than I thought. If not, I'm sure that I'll be able to take away a few gems on how to cut down a little bit of plastic in my existence, which I'm sure is gonna be helpful anyway. So the week begins now. Oh, wish me luck. So in order to get started, you've got to educate yourself a little bit about this world. Within the first week, I started familiarizing myself with the plastic-free world. So that involved also getting supplies so I could be prepared. So whenever I encountered a situation where usually I would need to have plastic utensils, for example, I would bring out my cutlery set that's made out of metal. Other things I collected and purchased this week to prepare me for the plastic-free month included a cotton mag, a stainless steel food container, my favorite copy, a reusable bottle, which is plastic because I bought it last year before I started this process and I figured I'd keep continuing using it until it busted, and which it did the other day. So I'm gonna replace it with a stainless steel one. Let your mind be blown, but these are beeswax wraps, so this replaces cling wrap. This is genius to wrap your food up in your kitchen and it's reusable. Another thing that I freaking love is this stainless steel razor. Super sharp when you first get it. You just have to take it a little bit slower, but I shave my entire body using this. And as some of you guys know, if you've seen my video, I shave my face completely for exfoliation purposes, and I use this every single day, everywhere. I've cut myself a couple of times, but I'm doing pretty alright. One of the biggest differences you can make to the environment is literally just switching to a bamboo toothbrush. We use so many toothbrushes. We use so many toothbrushes in our lives, and plastic ones, they don't get recycled. Nothing happens to them, so they go to waste. And then for 1,000 years, they're hanging out, doing nothing, killing the world. Fun! With all of these tools, it cut out like 70% of everything that I use in plastic. So that's a massive chunk. Let's see what else happened this month. I honestly feel like I've made a special connection with my little cuppy here. Coffee tastes way better. To date, I've probably used about 3 disposable cups within 3 months because I've been doing this method for 3 months now. With me doing it for 3 months, it means that it's working and it's viable, so continue watching. I figured out to be successful in this world, you have to be pretty prepared all the time. At New Year's Eve, I was at a festival and I seem quite prepared here with my little cup for drinks. I've got my water bottle and I've got my utensils in my back pocket in case I get hungry. And honestly, I rocked it. I got a lot of compliments for being mindful about plastic use. It was really nice, and I look like a little Bob the Builder kind of chick.
Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Bob the Builder, yes we can!
Boring. I got my period when I was on the run and I didn't have my menstrual cup with me, so I had to buy this. Damn it. Obviously all covered in plastic. I really wanted to do this challenge when I was flying as well because I think a lot of people use flying as an excuse. You are fed these disgusting, unhealthy meals on the plane and they're all wrapped in plastic. Myself, I decided to take on that challenge and see how I could do. I packed my own food. It was delicious. I loved it so much. It was much better than airplane food because I was eating my favorite food on a flight. Because I was flying from Australia to Iceland, that's a very, very long trip. So I had to have a lot of meals planned and I ran out of time. So I would have just the actual hot meals from each plane because they were wrapped in aluminium foil instead of plastic. So I was like, yeah, I used my own utensils and my little cuppy, and I asked people on the airplane if they can fill up my giant water bottles. So I managed to do plastic free on the flight. I made a rookie error, so I bought some chicken and I thought I was doing the best thing possible to avoid any packaging. So I was like, yay, maybe I can have this. And then I started ripping the paper and it turns out that it's all lined with plastic. But now I really just don't know how I'm gonna buy any chicken, any meat, any seafood. I have no idea how to purchase any of this stuff now. There are seriously some things that I just don't really understand how to do plastic free. Like containers, if you're buying electrical products, I needed a converter. Plastic. Toiletries are another challenge. I'm about to leave Australia in a couple of hours and I really wanted to dye my hair before. And obviously all the packaging inside the hair dyes is plastic. There's a lot of restrictions when you go plastic free. And today I was like, I don't care, okay? I've done so well. And as soon as I started, you know, applying the product, I was like, well, my hair's gonna look great for what, maybe 4 weeks? And then this packaging is now gonna stick around for 1,000 years. So I just realized that this is a hiccup. I'm glad I'm having a hiccup because everything was going really smoothly, but now I'm like, my first hiccup, annoying, but I can do this. I'll get through this. I can't be so harsh on myself. This is a transition period and I am gonna stumble a little bit until I figure out ways of how to live plastic free completely. So I'm learning to find stuff that isn't in plastic. I've learned to make my own deodorant and my toothpaste, and I found natural replacements. As my moisturizer, I use olive oil and it works way better than any moisturizer, and it comes in a glass bottle. The sacrifices. Yeah, okay, junk food would be a massive one. I'm gonna cut out a lot of junk food. Most processed foods obviously come in packets. You can find amazing chocolate that is without wrapping. Well, hello, being unhealthy and being unhealthy and plastic free in Iceland is easier than ever. It's just wrapped in paper. Good times. You just end up being like this detective that seeks out all the best stuff and junk food if you need to, and you get super excited when you find amazing products that are not wrapped in plastic. It's like Christmas, trust me. It's hard transitioning into this lifestyle when you are with someone else as well, because I don't want to force anyone else to be living this way. So me and my boyfriend, we travel all the time together, and he's taking this method on quite well. He's a great cook, and sometimes the recipes that he wants to cook involve buying things that are quite heavily plastic related. If it was me, I probably wouldn't make the recipe altogether, but that is not my choice and I can't force anyone to do it. The fact that he's already doing such a massive thing, if you have someone else involved, it's nice that you work together. If you have someone completely against it, you're gonna really battle, because watching someone that you love just going against something you believe so strongly really hurts. But it's not your life. You can't force anyone to do it. You can just kind of serve as an example and hope that maybe they'll pick something up from it. Shopping takes a lot longer, and you're sometimes dictated by what is available to you that is not plastic free. So for example, sometimes I find honey that is all in plastic bottles, and then I find one that's just in a jar. I'm like, yes, heaven. So be prepared to spend a little bit longer in the shops until you figure out what you can and cannot buy, what recipes you can and cannot have. These days I sometimes don't eat certain foods, as I mentioned before, because I just don't. Where I'm still failing at, yeah, it happens. It's been 3 months. I'm still heavily sucking at bringing my own containers to like markets and such, so I still do use some plastic bags, which sucks, especially in Europe and Iceland. Oh my gosh. First day shopping in Iceland for food, so much covered in plastic. I was fearing this. That's why I wanted to do it around January to figure out how well even the broccoli everything is covered. I find that Europe is a little bit harder in certain areas to deal with this plastic. I don't think they are quite aware at all yet. Like Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, people just want to give you plastic bags. They're like, no, don't worry, you have a gift from me to you. I'm like, no, I don't want it. Almost battling people to be like, no plastic bag. Toiletries, still struggling with that one. I'm learning more and more to make my own natural stuff that doesn't require plastic, but I do love makeup, and makeup comes in everything plastic. So I'm still seeking brands that are going to help me replace the plastic. Textiles are the second biggest pollutant when it comes to plastic. It's recommended to shop secondhand, but because I'm almost a minimalist and I travel full time, like I hardly have anything. If I'm looking to replace something from my wardrobe, I almost always know specifically what it is. So for me to go out there and try to find that secondhand, it's very difficult. So I still suck in this department. Recycling doesn't really work. It sucks when I found that out. I was like, what? The only material that doesn't require more energy to be recycled is aluminium, so that's good. Recycling aluminium is great. The rest take up a lot of energy, so the best thing we can do is literally eliminate it from the process. Don't stop recycling, because there are some technologies that are advancing and it's good habit and it keeps you mindful, but eliminate plastic wherever you can. Living plastic free, it drains you a lot. It's very hard constantly thinking about everybody's use of plastic, and you see it and it makes you want to scream and just wake them up, but it's, again, not your place to say. That is absolutely the hardest part, that you just don't understand how people can't make small changes, like bring their own coffee cups or bring a bag. Like the smallest things can make such a difference to the world, and people choose not to do it. That hurts, but the world is slowly transitioning, which is super duper cool. And the more people that do these tiny little steps and just like, oh, I don't want that plastic bag, people will be like, wait, what? Okay, maybe I should do that next time. So everyone that participates in this and makes tiny changes is making a massive difference altogether. In the last 3 months of doing this, I've cut out probably 70 to 80% of plastic that I used to use. So it's a massive improvement. Still not perfect. I still have a dream to have like plastic-free house, except I don't have a house. So I don't think you can fulfill that dream until you have a house. Thank you guys so much for watching. That means that you're awesome and you really are trying to figure out how to be better towards the world. I think we have a really big responsibility these days to get rid of plastic and stop plastic use, and I know that the world is going to catch up. We are in a bit of a crisis when it comes to plastic. I mean, places in Hawaii, the beaches are lined with plastic. I saw Chelsea's account the other day and everywhere plastic, and I was like, it's getting to Hawaii. No place is safe these days, and that really scares me because I don't want to be swimming in trash one day, and I don't want 5 generations down the line from now to not know what a plastic-free beach looks like. That sucks, and it's so much easier to cut out plastic that I hope, you know, just by bringing your own little bag or your own little cup or using one of these razors, we together make the world a better place. That's it from me. Check out my Instagram for more, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Have a wonderful day.